Rise and shine, everybody. Bears After Dark is here. Never fear. Bears After Dark with you on Monday nights. Thank you so much for checking us out this evening. As always, we are proudly brought to you on a Bears After Dark presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook. Download the app and use that promo code CHGO when you sign up. It's a robust Monday night as per always in his CHGO t-shirt and his backwards hat, looking chippy and ready to go. It's Gregory P. Allen Braggs, fresh off a nice solid Easter Sunday with his family. Gregory, how are you?
Good. Getting a little sun now. The warm weather's upon us, so that sun beats off the Tyvek. Now I'm getting a little bit of redness, so it's nice. It's nice. I'm excited for it. Yesterday, though, hanging out with my family, we were cleaning out the garage, and I had my all-time worst moment as a parent ever, by far. I cleared everything out of the garage. I swept the whole garage out, and we have epoxy garage floor. So I was able to spray it down and squeegee it out to really clean, give it a deep clean. And Addison, my 5-year-old daughter's like, let me help. I was like, sure. I handed her the hose. And then she proceeds to start spraying me with the hose. And she thought that was hilarious. And it was funny. She caught me off guard. I was like, all right, you got me, 3 minutes, 5 minutes later goes by. She's standing on a chair and I'm pointing the hose at her. And I'm like waiting for her to turn. And then she turns and I spray her and she starts freaking out and she proceeds to jump over the high side of the chair in the driveway and lands hands and arms first, basically face plants into the driveway. Took a nasty fall. And my wife was looking at me like, I'm going to kill you. I was like, I wasn't expecting her to do that. The worst moment I've ever had as a parent. But she was okay. She bounced right back up. Kids are resilient.
Yeah, very odd start to the show here. Bragg's potentially going to get Indiana's DCSF coming over to.
Well, I had to get my revenge on a 5-year-old. I mean, I'm not going to let her get one up on me.
Right? No, can't do that. Gotta even up the score here. I got it. Nick, how are you, buddy? Wearing your White Sox t-shirt. White Sox with a big win today. Dylan
2 in a row. You guys are really growing.
Yep, we are back in the mix. I won one of my 3 bets that I placed on the White Sox during the last show we were on, Mark. So got the Sox money line. Everything else did not hit. But for who is it? People saying ugly shirt. Calm down there. White Sox they're going places. It'll be just fine.
Right. Well, and Gary and everybody, I'm representing the dream that is the Bulls in the play-in tournament. I can't wait for tomorrow night when they.
It was a play-in game. Now it's a play-in tournament.
It's the play-in tournament. Braggy up to Toronto they go Wednesday night, 6:00, and take out the Raptors, and then they'll get the winner of Miami and Atlanta, beat them, and then they're going to beat the Bucks in 5. No problem. I got it. So I'm here for Matt Peck and Big Dave and Amazing Will and my man Mark, who's doing great work. So, at any rate, CHGO Bulls, I got you. Never say die. All right, we got a busy show tonight. This is the Bears After Dark Sleepers show, and I thought that we were perfect for this because, I was in my mid-30s and the career hadn't necessarily taken off quite yet. So I would consider myself a sleeper to be still talking to all you fine people here on CHGO Bears After Dark and everything else, that had to take place for me to get here. Sleeper moves. Greg Braggs, of course, sleeping his way through Braggs in the Stands to launch himself to this place. Nobody would have ever drafted Braggs in the Stands 5 years ago to be the superstar that he is today. A complete sleeper in the media landscape. The guy that just called Waddle and Sylvie and begged and tried to be friends, and now all of a sudden here he is, Gregory P. Allen Braggs. And, of course, Nicholas Moreano, not our sleeper because he is our young superstar, but, doing it differently, coming out of the audible, rising up through DePaul, getting videos. I mean, we're a bunch of sleepers here, so why should we not be doing the sleeper draft?
Perfect. We're perfect.
Well, I'll tell you why, because I have trouble knowing the players in the first 2 rounds, let alone the last 5 through 7. But I'm going to give it a good old college try, even though I never went to college.
Well, do you want me to lead off because I've been really going at my sleepers for about 10 days straight here trying to come up with the best in the business. Either that or I've been working at it for like the last 5 hours. One of the two.
Yeah, you lead it off. This is your show.
You want me to lead off?
I'm driving home from work, lay brick all day. I'm like, what's going on? And have some fun. You're like, let's do a deep dive into sleepers. I'm like, really? Really, Carm? You gotta do this to me? Now I gotta go home and do homework and try to act like I know something around here. And everybody knows I don't. Gary's gonna help me in the chat. Come on now.
And feel free, chat. You could throw in your sleepers, and we will break down your sleeper in the chat live in color right here on Bears After Dark. We're all in this together. Interesting here from Johnny Sweats. Carm, I just finished today's earlier pod, and you should demand an apology from Hollywood Hogue. He did say there was one unanimous wide receiver, and you asked which one, and he went on his consensus rant. You're absolutely right, Johnny Sweats. For those who watched the noon show today, I was right. Hollywood Hogue was wrong, and for whatever reason, I did not get an apology. Nick.
You've kind of become Canada, right? It's just blame Canada, right? The old phrase, blame Canada. It's blame Carm or Cram, whichever you prefer.
Well, I mean, you definitely apologize. You definitely piled on. What's up, Dylan? What's up, Alex? By the way, why are you guys just so backwards hatty tonight? Should I go backwards hat?
I always wear my hat backwards. Nick does for the most part too.
Occasionally,
I don't think I ever see him very much with that. Well, sometimes with some of those new hats he has. You wearing the hat backwards, like I know I'm no spring chicken here, but when you wear the hat backwards, it's like that GIF where it's like, what's up? Hello, kids. What is it? How does it go with what does he say?
I know what you're talking about. I don't know.
Are you calling me an old man in a backwards hat? Is that what you're doing?
Somebody find the GIF so I can explain this to Carm.
So, Steven, if you don't understand what he's talking about, it's completely fine with me. Let me start with my number one guy. All right, you ready? You ready for this? Carm sleeper number one. Now, who was the quarterback that you guys like to make fun of me about? What was his name? Not Cooper Rush, the other guy.
Who was your other guy?
I believe he started a bunch of games for the San Francisco 49ers before he got hurt.
Brock Purdy.
Brock Purdy.
People have been tweeting at me, Kyle's probably looking for the next Brock Purdy. Well, indeed, you're absolutely correct. I have been looking for the next Brock Purdy. And let me tell you something. Let me talk to you about a guy who was a 4-year starter at QB, 50 of 55 games. I will take guesses in the chat as to who I'm talking about. This man is a 4-time team captain. No Googling is allowed here. 4-time team captain, 4-year starter, 5-time letterman. All right. He led his team with 10 separate records. He set bowl records. He owns 1 500-yard passing game, 6 400-yard passing games, 18 300-yard passing games, 97 badass touchdowns to 37 picks. And yeah, by the way, he's also run it 469 times for 1,446 yards and 25 scores on the ground.
Stetson Bennett.
Nope.
Damn it. That's
Don't listen to the chat. Michael Jordan is a great guess by Jacob W.
I'm not even looking at it.
Not Stetson Bennett. Gary Ross is incorrect at Clayton Tune. Nobody. See, I told you, by the way, in the chat that I was the man with the sleepers. I mean, those are impressive numbers now. Let's.
Yeah.
Do I need to read them again?
I have no clue. Yeah, I'm off. It's the one guy I was thinking.
This would be a man out of East Carolina, the lefty, Holton Ahlers. Ladies and gentlemen, watch Holton. Not only he is the Eastern Carolina single game holder for passing yards, 535 versus the Bearcats in 2019. Touchdowns in a game, 6 versus SMU. He is the Pirates all-time leader in passing yards, 13,927. All-time leader in total offensive yards, 15,373. And by the way, he's also got a really cool website called Built When Broken, because he lost a friend at 21 years old. You can go and you can support him and get a BWB t-shirt, which I'm actually thinking about doing. Yes, I am looking straight for my next Brock Purdy, and I think I found him at East Carolina. And the fact that I stumped Gary Ross is maybe the greatest accomplishment that I've ever had in the history of this podcast. So congratulations to me.
Definitely not easy.
Ehlers, damn it.
Okay.
That's a new guy. Okay, you did some homework, Carm. I'm looking forward to some of the other players when he went. That was your number one. I'm looking forward to the rest of the guys.
Well,
Greg, you want to go next? Or
Yeah, I mean, I have
hold
a
on.
quarterback too. So if you
Okay.
go ahead, Mark. What?
Okay, well, I just want to point out that this the level of depth that I went on here does not go 10 deep here. So let's just celebrate. Let's celebrate the Holton Ehlers and by the Young Turks. I won't read the rest of your thing
Whoa.
there, which we might not need to put that one up there. Hey, it's Bears
No, we
After
do not.
The Bears After Dark, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Rise and shine.
Rise and shine. So yeah, I had a quarterback as well. Obviously, not an unknown name like you're saying. You're pointing at me. So what do you want?
I want one more thing. Can we? Andrew Town just put on there for the chat for those listening in the audio world. Sounds better than Peterman, and I would like to personally apologize to Nathan Peterman from all of us at CHGO, from Greg Braggs, Nicholas Moreano, Will DeWitt, Kevin Kadek, Jake Flanagan, Adam Hogue, Brandon Spano. He shouldn't get thrown into this, but I just did that. Nathan Peterman signed a 1-year contract extension. And correct me if I'm wrong, Gary Ross, I don't think we've mentioned that once on any podcast that we've done that Peterman is back on a 1-year deal. We have completely just not given Peter 0.0 respect for Peterman. And we got to be better. We got to look in the mirror. We got to realize that you know, it's not all about Justin Fields every damn second of the day. By the way, Justin Fields did a 7-minute interview on the top 10 things that he likes to do in life, or that he absolutely needs, these essentials. So we're going to be doing some essentials at the end of the show here. Gary says we mentioned it. I don't remember mentioning it, but you're back, Peter, man.
That's it. But that's a bad job. It's a bad job, you guys.
Yeah. All right. So you can move along now. Braggs, who do you got in your? Who's your quarterback that can beat my Holton Ehlers? And for the record, I looked at some interesting QBs that I was looking for somebody off the beaten path. There is a QB down at Incarnate Word who had my attention for a minute. Lindsey Scott, who looks like a poor man's Kyler Murray. But I watched his highlights, and every one of his throws was in his highlight reel was late. Like, guy's wide open, doesn't hit him in stride, so he got taken out. Now Holton, this dude on the money in stride. So that's how, if you're looking at how I came up with Holton, and it wasn't just the stats. I was watching all the highlights and seeing, do you hit said wide receiver in stride moving? I'm super excited about my running back, by the way. But go ahead. Now I'm done, Gregory.
All right, that's great. Because Troy James in the chat put, read my comment. His comment was Cam Newton, Bears backup quarterback. So there you go, Troy. I hope you're happy. You make me a bicycle clown, so I'll read the comment for you. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I'm going to just go with guys I have watched play. Didn't have a chance to do a deep dive into YouTube highlights of quarterbacks that I have not seen. So I'm not going to speak on players I don't know about. Carm does great research and he breaks it down. Nick and Will, obviously, and Adam do a great job with that as well. Me personally, I'm going to just stick to what I know. And I have watched Dorian Thompson-Robinson play. And it does shock me that he's projected as a late round quarterback. This guy has a lot of talent. He put up big numbers at UCLA. And he showed a lot of, athleticism. He's a dual threat guy, ran for around 700 yards, had 27 touchdowns. He makes plays. Everybody's seen this guy play. So it does surprise me that he's projected so late in the draft. And he's obviously, to me, a perfect fit for the Bears if he falls at the right spot, has good arm strength, like I said, good athleticism, good ball placement. I've watched a handful of his games, and if the Bears take him later in the draft and he's your third string quarterback that you're going to develop, I'll be really excited about that. So, like I said, I understand maybe that doesn't meet the qualification as this ultimate sleeper that nobody's ever heard of and Gary's never heard of. But at the same time, like I said, I want to stick to who I know in this process. And that's the name that I came up with as far as a late round guy the Bears could acquire.
Can you tell me who it is one more time? Because my ADD kicked in.
Dorian Thompson-Robinson, the quarterback from UCLA.
Okay.
DTR.
He had, just looking over his stats, 3,100 passing yards, 27 touchdowns, only 10 interceptions, completing almost 70% of his passes, ran for 646 yards, and 12 more scores on the ground. So, like I said, I think the majority of us have seen him play. He has a lot of talent. Gary's saying he's inaccurate. I'm not going to say I watched every one of his games, but I'd be excited if he's a guy they take in the 6th or 7th round. I don't know where he's going to go. But if the Bears take him late, I would be completely fine with that.
To Gary's, and he probably knows better than I do for the record, but just stat-wise, 6th in the nation in completion percentage. He's 6.96, so we're talking 70% completion percentage here. Ran for 50 yards in 7 games as well. Those stats don't suck.
And one breakdown I saw of him, like I said, this is my personal breakdown, so I'm not going to act like I'm sitting here busting this out as far as my scouting report on him. But, one scouting report said DTR's accuracy is typically very good. He shows a fantastic feel to hit his target in stride, maximizing yards after catch. He also shows an innate feel for touch to layer the ball between defenders and placing the ball where only his guy can get it. So, Gary says he's inaccurate. Others disagree. So, like I said, a late round flyer on a guy that came from a big school, a big program, put up big numbers. I wouldn't be mad at that at all.
No, and I think the idea, too, for late round sleeper guys, you're going to be banking on a lot of guys that have traits, maybe physical intangibles that put up good numbers at places. So he fits that category. And I like that both you guys went with quarterbacks for a team that has not drafted a lot of late round guys. So that could definitely be a possibility. I actually saw one of my sleeper guys come up in the chat already. So I'll bring him up right now instead of my defensive player I was going to bring up. I know people want us to talk about defensive guys too. But Jake Witt, the offensive tackle out of Northern Michigan, been getting a lot of hype, just seeing what the intangibles and what he was able to do. He's 6'7", 302 pounds, ran a 4.89 40, which would have ranked number 1 out of all offensive tackles at the NFL Scouting Combine. Wasn't invited. He actually was a former tight end and was out of necessity needed to play tackle for the team that he was playing on because they didn't have anybody. He also has a 37-inch vertical, which would have tied BYU's Blake Freeland at the NFL Scouting Combine, but also a 10'3" broad jump, would have been the best among all offensive linemen in the past 10 years. And for someone that's a late round draft pick, you're looking at intangibles, you're looking at physical traits, you're looking at guys that maybe can develop. There's no guarantee for any of these like 7th or even undrafted free agents, and maybe someone that just sits on the practice squad and maybe develops, maybe can grow into a swing tackle position. Who knows? But he has a lot of athleticism and physical traits that you might as well take a swing on. If you're late in the draft, you're trying to look for an offensive lineman that can maybe possibly be something in the NFL.
I'm a little confused here, and the chat apparently loves your call here, Nick, so congratulations on the Jake Witness. Why does his leaping ability matter as an offensive lineman?
That's just force, I think, power, drive. Especially on a broad jump, get the hips involved. When you're getting leverage on a defensive lineman, you need to be able to burst out of your stance there, Mark, and get someone off the line of scrimmage, vertical displacement.
Let's break it down to him in a instead of a caveman, a cram man, understanding.
Yeah, please do.
What do you use to jump?
Offensive Offensive linemen do not jump.
What
They block.
Answer the question, Cram. What do you use to jump?
I've never heard an offensive lineman
You
been
won't answer the
described as
question. Look at him. He won't answer the question.
No, I
what
won't.
do you use to jump?
My wings.
Your legs. You use your legs, Cram. Don't be difficult here, okay?
No,
the higher you jump, the stronger your legs are. That's what that means.
Okay.
Nobody's saying
I've heard Paris Johnson Jr., Broderick Jones, and Peter Skoronski broken down 8,000 times. No one has mentioned leaping ability on any of them, just for the record.
See, this man doesn't remember Jerron Gilbert jumping out of a pool and the Bears
That's
drafting.
different. That's different.
No,
if this dude was...
I got one, guys. You know who has the combine record for offensive lineman verticals?
Who's that?
Tristan Wirfs. Is he pretty good?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, there you go.
Why was he jumping, Steven?
Probably because of those legs, right?
All right.
I think in a vacuum, right? In a vacuum,
my favorite thing,
talk
in a
about
vacuum.
here, it's for explosiveness, just to see how much you can generate in a quick area burst. That's what I think the broad jump likes to show.
Carm, why don't you go back a little bit, stand up and jump, and show us how high you can jump? We'll use the ladder as here we go. See how high you can jump. Let's go. Get up.
I'm gonna lose my tennis balls, but
what are you doing?
For people who are just gonna
I
listen
want
to this,
my arguable goat hat
Okay.
for my not caring about the fact that
the chat wants you to jump, Carm.
Yeah.
I mean, when
yeah.
the chat says jump, you say how high.
I don't think that I have the requisite video capabilities to get a good jump in, but maybe at the end of the show I'll jump for my love. Which, by the way,
if everyone hits the like button,
how many likes do we got on the
Carm
show?
to jump. Where's the likes at?
How many likes we got?
We'll get him to jump.
Now people want to see you jump, Greg. So,
Yeah.
are we all going to be jumping?
This is
We're all
Carm
gonna be
because
jumping.
he was pushing against the jumping. Don't turn this around on me.
Listen, Juan Garibay with your 4-inch thing. There's one good athlete on this show right now, and it's the guy that's speaking into the microphone. Well, Nick, I give you. That's true.
Excuse me.
I'm
Don't
about to start
talk to
speaking
Nick
to the
like
mic.
that.
No, I'll give Nick love. I do. He's an excellent ping pong player. He's an outstanding. He's got a good spiral on his football. I believe in his softball. His jump shot does look like he's taking a deuce and then he lets it fly. But I'll give him credit. And then the other guy here is.
I did the pro day video, so don't. Thank you, Dylan.
Yeah.
Dylan says Greg Braggs has the best pro day numbers. Carm is the arguable goat. Arguable, the incentive word. I need a Lord of the Rings ladder now.
Lord of the Rings ladder.
I mean, Jake Witt, I'm looking up his numbers here at Northern Michigan. His longest reception and reception yards per game were 44 yards against Davenport. He made one solo tackle against Davenport, appeared in 10 games. So you telling me that he transitioned to the offensive line? Is that what happened to Jake Witt?
Yep. He out of necessity. I think one of their guys went down. They're like, go play tackle. He's like, okay. And he did I think all right in his first game that he had to do it on the fly. So it's a guy that has transitioned. And there's actually been a lot of players that look at Cody Mauk when he got to North Dakota State. He was a tight end and transitioned to be an offensive lineman. So it's not the craziest transition, but a guy that's still obviously learning, but he has a lot of the physical makeup that you like.
I mean, I don't want to go too hard at the Northern Michigan Wildcat Sports Information Department, but for a guy that's at least making the sleeper list on Bears After Dark, you would think that they could, kind of give a more updated bio for a dude who's trying to get to the NFL. Come on, Northern Michigan. And Bragalicious, just because I love you so much, pal. Dorian Thompson Robinson.
Yes, sir.
Can I give you a little bit of a breakdown that you did not add that would have been useful?
Have at.
Dorian Thompson Robinson plays panicked at times, must take better care of the football, but he has an NFL quality arm with toughness and ability to create that will appeal to pro teams. His veteran presence will help him compete for a backup role very early in his NFL career. That's from Dane Brugler in his Beast NFL Guide. So I'm giving you credit for your guy.
Right. I mean, obviously he's got to have some deficiencies. That's why he's going later in the draft.
Well, that's
But he's a play. I mean, he made a lot of big plays. So I mean, he was somebody that UCLA's on TV a lot. Somebody that most people have watched. Playing at a big school like that, playing against tough teams like USC and things of that nature. Yeah, you're gonna. I mean, the guy has made plays. Is he a perfect quarterback? No, but I think he's the perfect candidate for a backup behind Justin Fields for sure.
Well, yep, and you could have watched, if you wanted to, Dorian Thompson-Robinson. You could have watched him on Fubo TV, 140 channels of sports, shows, movies, and news. Like that transition? I know I do. I love Fubo TV. You can stream it live to your TV from any device. You can watch the most Chicago sports for the lowest price. Let that sink in. The most Chicago sports for the lowest price. That's right. They've got marquee for you Cub fans out there. They've got NBC Sports Chicago. And, they've got, they've got a CHGO channel too. They're working on it at least. Start watching immediately. 7-day free trial. No contract, no cable, no hassle. Sign up, start watching. 1,000 hours of cloud DVR is included at no extra charge. Well, you can also watch local teams while traveling. It's outstanding. Give it a shout, and watch any team that you want on the old Fubo TV, on Marquee, on NBC Sports Chicago, Fubo TV. By the way, use the link in the description to sign up. 15% off your first month of Fubo Pro.
After you check out Fubo TV, you got to check out Shady Rays. Take on the sun with gear built to last. Our friends at Shady Rays have you covered for the warm weather ahead with premium polarized shades at an affordable price. Actually, Mark's going to go get his Shady Rays right now if you're watching the YouTube. And Shady Rays is an independent sunglass company that offers a world-class product that's just as good as any expensive pair we've worn here at CHGO. Durable frames and extremely clear optics for outdoor adventures. I have my Shady Rays in my car. Convenient, perfect on a day like today where sun was shining and I had my Shady Rays, so I knew I was covered. And what's awesome, if you lose or break your pair, even on day one, they tell us they'll send you a brand new pair, no questions asked. Wear your Shady Rays with confidence because they have your back long after your purchase. And exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays is going to give you their best deal of the season. Go to shadyrays.com and use code CHGO for 50% off 2 or more polarized sunglasses. Try it for yourself. Shady Rays are rated 5 stars by over 250,000 people. And quickly before we get on to some more of these sleeper picks that we have here in the draft, you got to know that the CHGO Bears offseason coverage is also brought to you by ComEd Energy Efficiency Program. Learn more at comed.com/poweringbiz.
So I want to bring up my next sleeper. Carman.
Hold on.
I'm taking the wheel here.
Just relax, because I got something special for you. Last time I saw Greg Braggs was last Wednesday, Nick, and we went to Guaranteed Rate. And every time this dude comes in my car, he leaves something, and here it is.
This thing is like molding. Throw it away.
Braggs is cherry cola. It is
Drink
molding.
it. Open it up and drink it.
But I have a cup. I've got ice. I'm going to open it.
No, you are not.
Oh, no.
You
Smells fresh to me.
He's going to drink my cup from a week ago. Here we go. Somebody in the chat was asking what I'm drinking. I'm drinking Crown and Coke. I'm not.
It's fully poured out.
Bottle. Yeah,
There's
see,
not
he's
an
got
ounce
something
of.
in there.
There's
Oh,
not
there
an
we go.
ounce of. There's not an ounce of fizz in this thing. It smells terrible. And I in my head I was gonna drink this, but this is
No,
an
you're
RIP.
afraid to? You're gonna punk out?
Yep,
Oh my
this
god!
This is an RIP.
You gotta take a sip. You gotta take a sip. Do it.
It's got
Do
the ice.
You just said it was molding.
There's this moisture at the top. Calm down. So
Don't
yeah,
do it.
Diddy Dodot in the chat was asking what I'm drinking. I am drinking Crown and Coke. Chubb's got it right. He also said, Gregory Braggs looks lost when it comes to prospects. I'm never gonna pretend like I'm someone I'm not on here. That is something I can promise you guys as the viewers. If I know about something, I'll speak on it. But if I don't, I am not going to sit here and pretend like I know something I don't. So I make no bones about it. Do I know all the players that are going to be drafted in rounds 1 through 7? Hell no. Nick,
Neither do I.
Adam, Will, Carm, they're diving deep into this. The diehard, if you become a diehard, you can have access to a lot of the research they're doing. I'm laying brick from 7 to freaking 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
All right,
I don't have time.
nobody wants to hear. Nobody.
Time out. Nobody wants to hear you. Now be quiet. Now there are players I do know about, so I will speak on those. And one of those is everybody knows my affinity for the Purdue Boilermakers. Be quiet, Carm. My affinity.
Don't
for
kill
the Purdue
Crampa is one of the
Boilermakers.
greatest chat moments in the history of Rob T. Don't kill Crampa is very good. Good job, Bob T.
Crampa. That's a great new evolution of the name. Yeah, quiet Crampa. So Charlie Jones is someone I have watched more than a few times. He's somebody that is going to be in the later rounds of the draft, and somebody the Bears absolutely should be looking at. He makes all the catches. I have a clip ready to go that a guy that we've pulled up here before, that an opinion I respect, can break it down much better than me. But I've watched more Charlie Jones games or Purdue games than probably any team outside of Notre Dame. So to me, this is somebody I am very comfortable saying if the Bears pick him up, they've got a steal depending on what round they get him. If they get him in the 5th round or later, this dude is a steal. He makes all the catches, but I'm going to let the clip speak for itself.
Charlie Jones, kid out of Purdue, wide receiver. Mr. Consistent. Man, the way his ability to set up the defender, he goes across the middle, traffic ball, doesn't shy away from it. Everything about Charlie Jones that I've seen is he checks the box of consistent. Is he where he needs to be? Yes, but check. I love his focus too. He's laying on his back. He's catching the ball, tipping it, his concentration, catching the ball on the sideline, keeping not 1 foot in, 2 feet in, going across the middle, catching the ball, knowing that the hit's gonna come, catching it, getting hit, holding on to the ball, will be drafted in a later round, and has the ability to surprise some people in the end. He knows how to play ball.
Shout out to Steve Smith. We've used some of his clips here in the last couple weeks recently. He's 100% right. This guy is a competitor, a fighter, a gamer. And if the Bears get him, they will be very lucky, because he is somebody that I think can come in right away and make some plays for you. Makes them in a lot of different ways, as you saw in that clip and the way Steve broke it down. I definitely think that Charlie Jones is somebody the Bears should be all over.
I'll double down on that, Greg. He was somebody that I had as on my sleepers, and I knew you'd pick him up, so I'm glad we get to talk about him. But Iowa did him no service of trying to showcase his actual abilities as a wide receiver. They don't throw the ball there. So when he got to Purdue, he was able to showcase a little bit more of what he's capable of. And what Steve Smith talked about, you see that consistency with Charlie Jones. He's not going to be the fastest guy. He doesn't have the physical intangibles that some of these other wide receivers have, but he knows how to get open. He is going to be consistent. He also provides some special teams value too. So if you're looking at these late round receivers, how can they get on the field? Special teams going to be a big part of that, but that's a guy that, with a wide receiver room that has some names on it for the Bears, maybe just a guy on the back end that can work his way up the roster. I'm a big fan of Charlie Jones, his game, and what he can do at the NFL level. It translates to how he can get open, make plays, and be someone that just is consistently on a roster, is producing, never going to put up probably the big, stats, but that's all right. He puts up what he needs to put up, and he can be a complementary piece with a wide receiver room that already has some guys on it.
What do you guys think of his twitch?
As a slot receiver, I think he's got enough to work in the middle of the field, especially on some of those little arrow routes where you have to go in and come back out. I think you see that in his game at Purdue. So, again, it's not going to be elite level, but I like it enough.
How many years did he start at Purdue?
Well, he just transferred over.
Transferred, right?
So how many is the answer?
I believe it was just last year.
Uno.
He came from Iowa, correct?
Yeah, Iowa in 2020. So it was just 1 year at Purdue. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was in Buffalo 2017.
In Purdue, the last couple years, Rondale Moore, David Bell last year went to the Browns. He didn't do very much, but was somebody that a lot of Bears fans, including myself, wanted the Bears to draft. Now, this guy is a little more under the radar than those two guys. Obviously, the athleticism is a lot different. But this dude's a fighter. Gary Ross saying he reminds me of Scotty Miller from Tampa. That's a decent comp, for sure. like I said, I just think this dude's is a fighter. Is the best word I can use for it. He makes a lot of different plays in different ways. He was the most dependable guy on their team in a high octane passing offense with O'Connell and the head coach that left for Louisville, Jeff Brom. They predicated their offense through the passing game, and Charlie Jones was at the center of that. So I would be really excited if they got him for sure.
I mean, and you know what? New Harper's got a good 4.4. So, my mistake. He does have that. He does have pretty good speed at the wide receiver position. So that's got to, maybe sneaky fast in a way. And again, we didn't see enough at Iowa. I didn't watch too much Purdue games, but that's a guy now you're looking at the 4.4 speed. And again, he put up some big numbers in 1 year at Purdue.
And Chubbs is saying a couple times in the chat, talking about him as a practice. How does he make the Bears better as a practice squad player? I disagree. I mean, right now they have Chase Claypool, Darnell Mooney, DJ Moore, Velus Jones, and then who are there that you're going to keep, 6 or 7 wide receivers, would you predict, Nick, for the depth chart? 7?
It's usually 6 or 7 is
right?
what it usually comes out. Yeah.
Who are these last 3 guys that you're talking about? Equinemius St. Brown was signed to a 1-year deal, but he's not guaranteed a roster spot.
They're bringing back Chris Fink.
He's got they signed him to a small 1-year deal, Equinemius St. Brown. He's not guaranteed a roster spot because of that, guys. So you bring in a guy like Charlie, he absolutely could be on the depth chart. I mean, calling him a practice squad player this early in the game before we even get to training camp, I think is getting ahead of our skis there.
I like the call, Braggsy. I just was kind of picking at it because, your Boiler stuff is obviously heavy bias.
I've said it a million times, though. I'm not even a Purdue football fan. I'm a Notre Dame football fan. Obviously, I follow Purdue a little closer because I'm around their, athletic, stuff. So I'm watching their games.
I forgot about that. Forgot about your front running stuff.
So it's not even like a biased thing. I'm not a Purdue football fan, but they do have they've had good wide receivers come out of there. And this guy is more of a sleeper than the last 2 that came out the last 2 years.
All right, you sold me, baby. Let's go. Bring him in. He's got the sea of speed, according to Dane Brugler's, and I like dudes that you can say see it to. That's a winner. You want to go next, Nick, or would you like me to take this one?
You go, Mark. I'll go last here.
You want to go last? Okay. All right. Now this guy, when you talk about elite Carm research and somebody that really excited me, and this is he's not the prototypical size. Let's see if people can guess what I'm talking about. But he is one of just 5 players since 1996 to have 3,600 rushing yards and 1,250 receiving yards in his career. By the way, this dude did this in not that many games, only 37 of them. He's got 5 career games with 70 yards rushing and 70 yards receiving. That's the most, I'll give you the conference, in Big 12 history. No other player had more than 3 such games. That would be Darren Sproles, Tavon Austin, and Joe Mixon, Oklahoma. Those are the dudes that were putting up numbers like this. He is one of just 2 Big 12 players to ever record 3,600 rushing yards, 1,250 receiving yards in his career. The other that would be DeMarco Murray, who's had a pretty damn-ass good career and led the NFL in carries and rushing for the Cowboys before he got hurt. Is everybody saying, let me look at the comments. People got it? Yes, they do. There it is. Deuce Vaughn, baby. Have you guys watched Deuce Vaughn?
He's a tiny, springy, explosive dude.
He would be so much freaking fun to watch if we had this dude. Think Tariq Cohen on steroids. I mean, he is...
As long as he's not Garrett Wolf.
He's not Garrett Wolf, you jerk.
I said as long as he's not. I didn't say he was. I said as long as he's not.
He is super tiny, but he's super fast. He is super exciting. His cuts are incredible. Robert Ben, 80. We already have Velus. Let's not make decisions based on having Velus or not having Velus. This guy, he would be dynamic as a gadget player who I saw watching his highlights. He had a ridiculous diving catch in the end zone, like full out dive. He caught a ton of, as I just laid off the stats, he caught a ton of balls coming out of the backfield. Let's make things easier for Justin Fields. He's supposed to be a mid-round pick, 4th, 5th, 6th. This is not going to be a free agent. So, and yes, he is absolutely tiny, but I am looking for a late round steal. I am looking for a sleeper. I am looking for somebody who is super ass nice. K-State fans, of course, love him. I texted with one of them. I got back. Let's see, what did I get back? He's legit. And the concern is, can he pass pro in the league? I'm not sure, but I'd be shocked if he doesn't at least make it as a gadget player. You're not worried about this dude, doing cut blocks. You're worried. You're hoping that he's going to make plays for you. And this Bears offense still needs some playmakers. So that is my second sleeper, baby. Give me Deuce Vaughn.
Yeah, Mark, as long as you have realistic expectations for him, like he's not going to be like a 3-down back. He's a probably specific role type of guy, but makes plays. I like it. He has a specific role, and if he can do that, then he's a late round pick that can be utilized as another weapon here. We are going to we're going to hit on defensive player, and I know we have a super chat from Chubbs82. So we talking about offensive players again, boys?
Yes.
We are, but now we're going to switch it over to the defensive side.
And
he's quick.
Because he was being facetious about this super chat because he wants to talk about defensive players.
You did not need to break that down. We know that he clearly. We all got the sarcasm there.
Okay, my bad.
You and best friend.
I'll go back to drinking whiskey.
Chubbs was being sarcastic. I know Chubbs. We're friends.
And now we'll talk defense a little bit. Going with my defensive guy out of San Jose State at defensive end, Villame.
You're just jealous because you don't have friends. I'm sorry.
Well, maybe.
Poppy.
And I'm going to try to pronounce this right. Poppy, somewhere in the background. Villame Feoko, I think is the name here. 6'3", 276-pound defensive end out of San Jose State. 69 tackles. Nice. 19 tackles for a loss, 9 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 1 pass defense. But it's a guy, when you watch some of the impact plays that he had for that San Jose State defense, he's winning with a bunch of different ways. There's some times where he shows a little bend. I would say that's not the strength of his game. It's really the power he generates on some of these tackles that he's going up against. He's able to kind of collapse the pocket that way. There was one rep where he had a spin move that actually was turned into power, and he kind of knocks the tackle back into the quarterback, always looking to attack the football. So when I think of how this can translate for the Bears, he's going to have a high motor. He's going to give it his all, really hit the hits principle that Matt Eberflus is looking for. He also has some position versatility as someone that can play on the outside, move in, but I just like him as a late round guy, and it's going to be up to the defensive coaching staff to kind of mold him to what they want to be. But guy plays with a lot of power and a lot of effort, and I think that will translate to what the Bears are looking for in a defensive lineman, especially they're looking for guys that can just get to the quarterback. They didn't have enough of that last season. Why not use it at a late round guy like this who did have more production each year that he played?
Braggs, would you like to try to pronounce it?
No, I would not.
What kind of effort is that?
How does it start? I mean, let me Google it, and then I'll.
Viliami Fiocco.
Villame Fiocco.
Villame Fiocco.
Villame Fiocco.
Villamu Viocco. Villamu Viocco.
Can you just keep going on a loop? Because I think this could really send...
Villamu Viocco. Villamu Viocco.
This could launch us. This could take CHGO to the next level if we just keep going.
This will launch us, all right.
Can you do a space? Can you do a spaces with your friends later tonight and just say that name for 7 hours?
Just over and over and over. I got a friend Justin that does that all the time. So Villamu Viocco.
All right. Yeah. Okay. I like it, Nick. We do, and thank you, by the way, for giving us some defensive presence on the show. It is true, but that we probably do need that. However, I'm about playmakers, and they can figure out the defensive side. It doesn't move.
We gotta give Nick credit because he's killing it. The guys he's brought up, it's just lighting up the chat.
Yeah,
So
no, absolutely.
this is
Greg,
his wheelhouse
doing a great
here.
job,
This
you
is
guys.
not my wheelhouse. This is Nick's wheelhouse. So
Greg,
I'm
would
gonna
you
let
like
Nick
to
cook?
would you like to tell us about Goose Island, Greg?
Sure, I would love to tell you about Goose Island. I love talking about Goose Island because they're just great people and we appreciate all their support every single day here at CHGO because CHGO is supported by Goose Island Beer Company, Chicago's beer since 1988. So many great options like the Blackhawks Pale Ale, Bull City 312, Beer Hug, IPA series, and my new favorite, No Plans, which Adam Hogue was drinking while he was hanging out on his back porch watching the Masters. Goose Island's 2 local stations are open and ready to welcome you. Grab a beer right from their innovation tanks at the Goose Island Tap Room at 1800 West Fulton, or get a smash burger and a fresh beer of the week at the original Clybourne Brew House at 1800 North Clybourne. For reservations and pickup, go to gooseisland.com/locations. Goose Island Beer Company, the best in the business.
Mark, can we have a discussion real quick about our good friends at ComEd? You ready?
I absolutely am ready, Nick, and we of course can talk about our good friends at ComEd.
Great, because the ComEd Energy Efficiency Program, Mark, is committed to helping families and businesses in the communities they serve, helping manage energy usage and lower energy bills now and into the future.
That's what you got to love. And yeah, as well as that, Nick, ComEd also offers a wide variety of incentives on lighting and other efficiency upgrades to commercial, industrial, and public sector customers like Greg Braggs of all sizes across the territory, big and small. ComEd also offers free facility assessments that can help find energy-saving opportunities like for HVAC systems, commercial kitchen equipment, or industrial processes.
So how exactly does that work, Mark?
You know, that's a great question, Nick. Let me explain it to you. An authorized engineer will work with you to develop a detailed assessment plan specific to your goals and needs. It can be done in person or virtually, and it does last for about 2 hours. Within 3 to 4 weeks, customers will get their detailed energy report, and their efficiency projects will be laid out, and they can start working on those immediately. Each recommendation will include an estimated energy savings, a cost savings, a project cost, potential incentives, and a simple payback. It's essential, by the way, if you own a business, don't wait. You want to get started saving money and energy today. For energy saving tips, lighting incentives, or to schedule your free facility assessment, go to ComEd.com/poweringbiz.
Did you say ComEd.com/poweringbiz?
I sure did. Schedule it today.
Let's
Ladies
go.
and gentlemen, let's go. Let's go, Braggs. All right, Nick, you found something from Justin Fields that we should bring to the table and we should all talk about as we hang out here on Bears After Dark. Why don't you lay this out for the team?
Yeah, so Justin Fields did a interview with GQ magazine, and in the interview, it's about 7 minutes long. They asked him about the couple of things, and he listed 10 that he can't live without, you guys. And you can go check that out if you just look up Justin Fields, 10 things Chicago Bears quarterback Justin Fields can't live without.
Was one
You'll
of
see the
them
video pop up.
CHGO Bears?
Braggs will tweet it out.
Unfortunately, one of them was not CHGO Bears, but that will probably be in an up-to-date list.
So he's sleeping. This is the sleeper show, and he's sleeping on us.
Yeah.
We got to get him to wake up.
Things that you can't live without, top 10, or anything that comes to mind, feel free to throw it in the chat. We've got our own, but we're going to go through Justin's list here.
Yeah, you guys. And so I'm going to listen from 1 to 10, then we can talk about some things that we can't live without. And for Justin, he starts with not in any particular order, but the first thing that was mentioned was the Bible app. He's big into that. He actually has a verse tattooed on his chest. The second one are acai bowls. He loves acai bowls, says he eats them 6 to 7 times a week. Goes to the one in Libertyville, Lola's Bowls. Got to check it out. I go there too.
That's where you go, right?
That's where I go. Wrote a story about them. A lot of the Bears players, so I could check that out. But acai bowls 2. Number 3 are the headphones. And guys, he actually wanted to be on American Idol. Thinks he's a pretty good singer. I don't know if he still thinks that way, but Justin Fields is big into his headphones. And then, you have to throw in some product endorsement here for Justin Fields. Essentia Water is one of them. C4 Energy. I do like my C4 myself. Number 6, sunglasses. And, if you're going to get sunglasses, might as well get some Shady Rays. He also likes jewelry. And it was funny, he said in the video he doesn't buy real earrings anymore because he loses them all the time. So the ones he actually had on, he said they're just from Amazon. And he said they shine just the same. So if you see the bling that he's rocking for his earrings, Amazon earrings, you guys. It's good for Justin Fields. It can be good for you too. Number 8, or the 8th thing was football. 9 is family. And the 10th thing he mentioned was his little doggy Uno, and he shared a funny story how he thinks his dog is petty, and that one time he was gone for too long, like 4 hours. He said Uno went up onto the couch, onto the counter, in the middle of the stove, took a shit right in the middle of there, and then kind of walked down, and then Justin was looking for where this poop was at and found it right in the middle of his stove. You have to go check out the interview because I think it's hilarious how he explains it.
It's an elite move by Uno. I don't believe Fields' story that he was just gone for 3 or 4 hours. I think Uno could have held it for longer than that. But since I think this is more like a 7-hour jaunt, and Uno was like, you know what, this is BS. If you're gonna make me do this, I ain't putting this anywhere near where I hang out. So I'm gonna go up on this stove and I'm gonna put it right where you're gonna see it. And I'm going to stick it to you. And Uno is an elite animal. If Greg Braggs was a dog, he'd be like Uno.
He's got his own Instagram, too. So you can go follow Uno on his own Instagram. Yep, he's a big deal.
Uno with the deuce from Juan. That's a good chat. Good job, Juan. Well played.
Good job. I like it.
Yes, Gregory?
Nothing.
No reaction to any of that.
That's amazing. I don't. What do you want me? You reacted. What did you want me to do? I'm ready with my list. I don't care about Justin's list. Justin didn't have us on his list. So forget his list. I'm interested in my list and your list and Nick's list and the people in the chat's list.
Yeah, exactly. I could just see that you were not interested in something. So it was all about you.
I don't know. I don't care if he's not going to put us on his list, then I don't care about his stupid list.
Yeah, 57,000 followers according to the Bullseye Insight for Uno. Uno's doing better than the 3 of us combined. That's unfortunate. All right, Gregory, what's on your list? Top 10 things you can't live without.
All right. I can't live without summer in Chicago. There's nothing, to me, there's no better place in the world than summer in Chicago. I love it. I love going to Wrigley. I love my summers in Chicago. So you can laugh at that all you want. I can't live without whiskey. I love a good whiskey and Coke. It's my lifeblood. I mean, some would say my brick juice is my lifeblood. Jonathan Otten, there's the brick juice right there. But whiskey is more of a staple. I don't overdo it though. I'm a big swimmer. I love swimming.
What?
I could not live without swimming. I swim every day. I got a pool in my backyard. I'm ready to open it up this week. It's supposed to be 80 degrees here in the next couple days. I might open it up and start swimming now because I love it. I've got a pool. Of course, I got a pool.
Who are you?
Why is that so shocking?
And none of what you just said, none of this resonates at all. You don't look at I don't think you've ever been in a body of water. And now
Carm, if you want, we can go to a pool anytime you want, from end to end. I will beat you swimming. If you want to bet, we can throw it down, and you will find out just how good of a swimmer I am.
I don't know if
ready? You ready for this smoke?
No. First of all, I'm a bad swimmer. Second, I'm
then
horrible swimmer.
Be quiet.
Second of all,
I'm telling my list.
Okay, keep going. Go ahead, buddy.
Number 2 is steak. I eat steak probably more than anyone on this earth. Number 2 is steak. 100%. Medium rare. If you do not cook your steak medium rare or ask for it when you go to the restaurant medium rare, you will be judged by me. That's like crossing the line. If you go medium, I'm looking at you with judgmental eyes. Number 1, and this is an obvious one, I cannot live. What are you looking at? I cannot live without Twitter. If I didn't have Twitter, I would probably have a meltdown. And when they were like saying it was going to shut down in like December, I was very nervous because Twitter is my lifeblood. I can't live without my spaces. I can't live without Twitter. So the one that didn't make the list is the movie Interstellar. I don't know if you guys are familiar. Great movie. Don't hate. Christopher Nolan, one of the best directors of all time. I watch Interstellar a lot. So if I didn't have you go to an island, you get one movie. Interstellar would be my movie.
Okay.
What is your list? Let's hear this great list.
Well,
Number 1, Poppy.
that would be a great one, but I mean, I went for the basics here. You said summer in Chicago. I went with more of the elite sunshine. I need the sun. You know, if you kick me out of Chicago, I'll survive if I can have the summer somewhere. You, of course, want to throw love to this city, which is beautiful, but that's fine. I got sunshine. I put in my number 2 things I can't live without. I put good old sex. That's right. You gotta have sex in your life to make your life go round. That can be that doesn't necessarily have to be with another human being. Ideally, it would be, but I need that ability for me to function on a daily basis, whether I'm in a relationship or out of a relationship. Sex has got to be in there. Alongside of that, not necessarily even on the platonic side, I got massage and rub and touch. I need to be touched. I need some tenderness in my life. I need a little back rub. I need a little shoulder rub. I need a little temple rub. I need touch in my life. I need whiskey. I mean, what are we talking about here?
How horny do we have to get with this list?
Well, you know what else I need? I need to be able to shower. I like a good shower. I like to get clean. I like to stand under a flowing water. I like the peace of the shower. I like everything about a good shower moment. I like a good steam shower if we can really live the dream on an elite level. My list is so much better than your list. It's not even close. I did put in there, excuse me, I got to take a sip of water. That's right. I need a Brita with some water. Water. Absolutely delicious. I need my hydration. You want to go for the whiskey? I need a beautiful, flowing, delicious, clear hydration. Let's go. Me and you, water. The only liquid that you actually need in life. Thank you so much. God's country. I love you to the end of the world. By the way, water, sunshine, ice, everything about water. It's so good. And I did put in there, I absolutely have to have it. I need it. I love it to the end of the earth. That's right. That would be my tennis. Where are you? Here you are, buddy. That's right. This beautiful tennis ball to have and to hold till death do us part. The serve, the forehand, the backhand.
He's on my list. Swimming is better than tennis.
No.
Summer in Chicago is better than summer anywhere. Have you ever had summer in Iowa? It doesn't hit the same as summer in Chicago. Whiskey is better than water. So everything you're saying, besides sex, which I think everyone here can agree is great. I didn't realize we were going horny after dark. Okay, so three of my things are better than 3 of your things.
I disagree.
And then the rubs or whatever you're doing.
No one said anything. No one said anything about
sex. I mean, rubbing.
I said a massage. I didn't say anything about adult. I didn't say anything about adult entertainment, Gregory. The reason why I looked at you with the swimming is, with all due respect over there, I just don't see you as a workout guy. You're gonna find out. You're gonna find out. Okay. Your turn, Nick.
All right. I don't know how I can top these first 2 lists, but I'm going to try here. I put down my first one, things I can't live without. Friends, family, my girlfriend. They showed me a lot of support when I was trying to get into this industry. Wouldn't be here without any of those people, and your friends included with all you guys here at CHGO. So I appreciate everyone that has helped me get to the position I am right now. I have my doggy Brady. My day literally starts with that little guy and probably ends with that little guy, going on walks, getting up at 6 a.m. I have a thing of tennis balls too, Mark, but we use those to play catch. Every single morning. So
yep, they love it.
Put my dog Brady. Working out is big for me, whether it's playing basketball, lifting weights, playing any kind of sport. I need to have it. I try to consistently go to the gym anytime I can. If I'm bored, I'll go out, work out. Just went for a run after our show, Mark, earlier today after I'd worked out in the morning. So it's just part of what I do. 4, football. I literally cannot live without it, whether it's the Bears on Sundays. When I was playing high school football, flag football before that, life is centered around the sport. We are talking a Chicago Bears podcast right now. So I cannot live without the sport of football because it is a part of my life since the beginning now, it feels like. And then my last one is a big thing for me is technology. You always see me with, the phone, whatever. I'm giving tech gadgets to Greg to use at the scouting combine. Everything I have here in my setup here, I got monitors, whether it's the PlayStation, it doesn't matter. Technology is also a big thing for me that I like to use.
Good call, Nick. Greg says Twitter, you say phone, and that's really what Greg is talking about. You helped Greg get to where he needed to go.
No, I didn't. I Twitter. I can live without the rest of it. Twitter's the one I need.
Do you do Twitter on your phone or do you do it on your computer?
On my phone. I don't do anything on my computer.
Exactly.
No, don't try to pick apart my list. It's my list. Leave my list alone.
I'm here. My job on this show is to pick apart everything you do. That's what
everybody,
Kevin,
including you, Cram, and everyone in the chat saying, "Oh, Greg, work out this, that, and the other." You guys wouldn't last half a day on the job site, laying brick, building scaffold, picking up, putting mud up 3 scaffold high. So for all the Greg don't work out, I do 8 hours of working out the bricks every day. So you, Cram, and everybody else, come on the job site. Let's see how long you last. You won't.
Let's just remind everybody that yours truly, Mark Carman, walked the steps at both Wrigley and Comiskey and Soldier Field.
I'll give you respect for that.
From 1992 to 2009. All right, and you sit there, you probably lay a brick, and the next thing you know, you're on Twitter, you're watching CHGO.
No.
Yeah,
not when we're cooking. Okay,
No.
if we're laying stone, I might be able to pop and look and take a look here and there.
That's right.
But if we're laying brick, it don't stop. So don't sell short what I'm doing, okay? But I will give you respect for going up them steps because that is not easy, especially at Soldier Field in the upper tank. If you were vending beer in the upper tank at Soldier Field, you are a tough SOB. There is no question because that's back pain for a lifetime if you don't know what you're doing. Because going up those steps once is not easy.
And Bears fans are just so understanding when you're up there, too. They're just very calm. Get that beer up here right now, beer man, or I'm going to throw you off this upper deck. Sir, absolutely. I'll be right there. You're a football fan. Rise and shine. Karma's coming. Okay.
So Alex says, bricklayers are the baddest MFers out there. I will say this much. I would put roofers ahead of bricklayers. Roofing is something I would never want to do. I love bricklaying. Roofing seems to me tougher. And if you look at most of the guys that do roofing, they're shredded. They are shredded because it takes a lot of hard work. So, bricklaying isn't the only hard trade. It's definitely one of them. Ironworking. I ironwork for 2 years, walking iron. That is terrifying stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Being on scaffold's a lot easier.
All right, we got 2 things we got to do before we get out of here. First of all, we want to say hello to the Bears' newest free agent acquisition. That is punter Ryan Anderson. Ryan Anderson is signed on the dotted line, and he is going to compete, apparently, even though he's not going to because Trenton Gill is going nowhere. But Ryan Anderson will be somebody that's coming to training camp to punt before he gets the boot. 28 years old, no pun intended. 28 years old, out of Alabama. Actually, I have that wrong. Excuse me. What's the wrong Ryan Anderson? Hold on. That's my fault.
Cramapedia
just got it wrong. 27. Patriots undrafted free agent out of Rutgers. Thank you very much. Out of Rutgers. He was in a rookie minicamp in 2018. He's been with the Birmingham Iron and the now defunct AAF. He earned a contract with the Giants following another rookie mini training camp in 2019. He was waived in August. In his lone year at Rutgers, Anderson set the school punting average record and was named All Big Ten. Welcome to the Bears for however long you're going to be here, Ryan Anderson. I know Gary was very upset. He's and Gary's letting us know he's a lefty punter. There we go.
You get a different
Ryan
look,
Anderson.
right? When you're at training camp with the lefty, especially for punt returners, you get that kind of look for, whoever can have a lefty punter later on in the season. But a training camp body is how I will look at good old Ryan Anderson there.
And Rutgers have beaten my Purdue men's basketball team 2 years in a row when they were the number one team in the country, undefeated. Both times Rutgers were the first team to take them down. So if I go to camp and I see Ryan Anderson there, I'm going to boo him.
Wow.
He won't know
Seems,
why.
little bit of
Maybe I'll just yell boiler up. I don't know.
There you go.
I'll have something planned for him.
Seems like misplaced anger. Lastly, Cole Kmet touching down in Germany, which is interesting with Bears and Chiefs and whatnot. Nick, you're all over this Cole Kmet overseas travel situation. Congrats, I guess, to Cole for exploring the world.
Yeah, exploring the world. It's just interesting, guys, with all the rumors, right? With Cole Kmet, or being in Germany right now, the Bears possibly playing the Chiefs in Germany, and we'll know officially once the schedule gets leaked out in May. But I'm down to go to Germany, you guys. If we're covering the Bears out there, seeing them play the Chiefs takes a home game away from the Chiefs, which is a big advantage every time an opponent goes there. But just more breadcrumbs, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think because a lot of Bears fans are upset that it won't be in Kansas City if it does happen. And, to me, I don't know how you could feel that way as a Bears fan. We have a very little chance of winning at Arrowhead. We have a very little chance overall of beating the Chiefs, but any given Sunday, right? If they're playing this game in Germany where you now are adding in travel and everything else, and, having gone to London when the Bears played at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and watching Bears fans take over that game and hearing people that were there that had seen some of the other games at London saying this was the most intense atmosphere that they had seen of any of the NFL international games yet, and that was because Bears fans traveled so well. I have no doubt Chiefs fans will also travel well, but it will not be a home field advantage for them like it would obviously be at Arrowhead. So I am all for that game, one of our true road games, being now a neutral game where Bears fans have a chance to even the playing field. And, you've got, the travel that's going to be an issue and everything else. I'll take that a million times out of a million. I mean, that sets up great for the Bears.
Excellent points, Gregory. And I would just say this, though. Nothing better than walking into Kansas City, an overrated Arrowhead. It gets so much love for the noise. I spent 3 years down there. Overrated. That's right. It's a good stadium. They're loud. It ain't anything that's crazier than Soldier Field at its best. Nope. Sorry. Don't. It just gets, in my opinion, and when the Chiefs... The Chiefs overpriced their club section, so there's always, before they got to be the Chiefs of today, there was always tons of empty seats. But regardless, I just think it's cool that Cole Kmet is seeing the world, and you are right, it'll be less of a home field advantage if we play in Germany. I think we'll have home field. More Bears fans are going to travel.
And the game in Germany, with both fan bases being as intense as they are, will be awesome. So, yeah, I think we'd give Germany a good show. I think it would just be a lot of fun to see that. So I hope that that's the case for sure. I don't know if you heard with the Chiefs, speaking of the Chiefs, that dude that dresses up as a wolf that was robbing banks, we talked about him during the season. Did you hear the latest about him?
No.
He was on house arrest, and now he's on the run. And no one can find him. So
Wait, hold on a second. Are you telling me that KC Wolf, the mascot?
Yeah, that wolf guy that was robbing banks, they put him on house arrest, and now they can't find him. He's on the run. Because the reason that spurred up on my timeline was the Kelsey brothers have their podcast, and they were trying to get him on as a guest, an undercover guest. They were like promising they wouldn't reveal his location. Then the Kelseys got a bunch of blowback, like, why are you giving this guy a platform? He held a gun to people and da-da-da-da-da. And then they were like, okay, we're sorry for suggesting that. But through all of that, it revealed that he is on the run. He did try to reach out to them. So I don't know. That story just keeps evolving. the wolf man. I don't know.
Have you ever been on the run?
Have I ever? Dude, we got to tell all my stories.
Real
I've
question.
ran from the cops a few times. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I didn't know
Yes.
I was actually getting a real thing here. But
Yeah. In high school,
well-
a lot of things. I caused a lot of problems, and a couple of times I've ran from the cops. Yes.
okay. On that, well, would you like to tell that story, or would you like to keep that to yourself for the rest of your life?
No, I'll keep that one to myself. But yes, I have ran from the cops. Sure.
Sure.
Don't judge.
All right. Well,
Don't judge.
no judgment.
I grew
No judgment.
Up. I'm a good husband, a good father now. I caused a lot of trouble in high school, and I grew up. So, for all of you that want to judge players coming into the NFL that have some things, they need to grow up. Everybody's got some growing up to do. I still, even at my tender age of 37, I still have growing up to do. So you never stop growing.
Were you ever fingerprinted?
No. Well, yeah. Yes, I have been fingerprinted a couple times because I got arrested a couple times. So they book you, when they arrest you. So yes, I have been fingerprinted.
Nick, any fingerprints in your past?
Not only the one you get when you get like your, that ID when you're about in elementary school, you get a fingerprint. But that's
Is anybody
about
else
it.
horrified here other than me?
What?
I feel like Greg kind of talked about this
Yeah,
already.
you
It was on the
get
After Dark show.
You get pulled over with a little weed, you go to jail. I mean, that's what happens when you're 17.
Yeah, no, I get it. Well,
non-violent drug offender.
Uh,
Now, yeah, when I was doing it, it was like this big secret. You weren't allowed to do it. But now they have billboards and stores and everything else. When I was doing it, I don't do it anymore. But when I was doing it, it was like, this big taboo thing you weren't allowed to do or tell anybody, even though you reeked like it at all times.
all right.
Double hats.
This is fantastic. I mean, I got fingerprinted in Game 4 of the 1993 NBA Finals when I was going to try to, where I debated sneaking into Chicago Stadium for Bulls and Suns, and unfortunately, I told the wrong person what I was doing, and they took me to the pokey. Story for another time. But I was fingerprinted, and I was touched in places that I did not choose to be touched in. It's a very, very aggressive frisk situation there at good old Harrison and wherever I was at. But good job by those Chicago police officers being very thorough with Dangerous Carm, who was trying to...
Did we get to the allotment for you to do a jump by the ladder, or no, we didn't get to it? I
You
don't
want me to do a jump? I don't think we need to do the jumps.
We're at 47 likes, by the way.
47
So
likes on the whole show?
Yeah,
That's
we
not
gotta do
enough.
better than that. We got to do way
That's
better.
not enough.
What do we do wrong tonight? This is a terrible job by us.
It's probably the
What
What
mistake.
are these stickers in your background, Steven? What's going on back there?
This is a kitchen.
Okay.
What are you looking
All right,
at? Oh, stuff on the wall? Those aren't
We
stickers.
play. I'm upset with how we did tonight. We're gonna have to do better next week. I'm gonna blame myself. I'm gonna look in the mirror and think about how I can be better. By the way, tomorrow on the Adam Hogue, Nicholas Moreano, Mark Carman, CHGO Bears at noon, we will be looking at edge rushers. Edge rushers will be breaking down at noon tomorrow. So it should be an awesome show. Braggs, are you in again this week on any shows at CHGO?
I don't think I'm going to be able to make it this Wednesday.
What about your other shows?
I have no other shows. This is my show with you, and then on Wednesdays, but this Wednesday I got to lay bricks.
Well, we'll miss you on Wednesday. We love you now. You were outstanding as per always, and I look forward to spending more time with you in this space.
Do you mean that?
I want to go swimming with you.
That sounds so. Oh, man.
All right. Thank you, Jonathan Odden. You can't be better. That's very nice of you, but we can and we will. And I from this tennis ball straight to my heart to all of you. Have a great rest of your night. Congrats to the White Sox winning today. Cubs are on top of the Mariners last time I checked. The Bulls are playing tomorrow. We'll make that Wednesday night. And the Bears are 17 days away from the draft. By the way, come on out to our draft party. I feel like you all know about it, but just to remind you, we're doing it Thursday and Friday night. Joe's on Wheat Street. It's going to be amazing. It'll be all of us, Hogue, Wooten, Bears, drinks, fun, festivities, life. Will DeWitt. People can come over and sleep at Carm's if you need to. I'm right down the street. Let's go. Otherwise, we can go back to Bragalicious, where he's got a pool. Maybe we'll have a pool party if the pool gets set up.
Good night, Grandpa.
See you later. Thanks for watching.